And yay, here we are. This is Minecolonies 12. This is Minecraft, Minecolonies Mod 12. This is my colony, New Masseque, on Sunday, City Sundays. And I am Roslydian, and I'm about to do a tour. I'm going to change my view pretty quickly. And hello, welcome, 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 welcome back. And here we go right now. So I am standing at the end of the road. This bridge was made in the past week. This bridge comes out to the island, and this is a piece of railroad that we are working on, that we are going to use to join this railroad all the way over here. And yes, I am having some technical difficulties right now that are being worked on, so it's going to be a little slow and weird, but I don't care. I want to play. And this is part of my playing. Yay! So isn't that cool? So I just went straight ahead. And if I go just straight ahead, I will land perfectly. Excellent. Yay, team. So the railroad is lined up properly. And the reason we have this piece here is because we were trying to find a bridge that the road could go underneath, and this is it. So we're going to be able to put this road underneath the two pieces, and I'm going to have to do it by hand because the building of the road will tear apart the bridge, and the building of the bridge will tear apart the road. So it's really okay. We'll do it by hand. So this road leads into the farming area. We're going past Benedict's restaurant. Benedict is Levi's son, and he decided that he wanted to be in the restaurant business too. So he is the chef owner of this restaurant, which is really a destination restaurant. This destination restaurant where you can go in and you can eat like a king. Eat like a king at this beautiful table, or you can go out to, if the weather's good, it definitely depends on if the weather is good. These awnings will not keep the rain off of you, so this is only a fair weather eating that they have set up out in the garden. Otherwise, you are eating in the king's room of the restaurant, which is really kind of neat. No, that's right. There actually was not a door there. There's a door between the kitchen. Is there not? No, there's not. How interesting. I didn't realize that. They're not missing because I took them off. So, and there we are. And so Benedict's chosen London. London is running a souvenir shop that she had modeled after the restaurant. This is acacia design, and the restaurant, so she had it changed. Inside it's still acacia. It still has its acacia features, but it looks very much like the restaurant on the outside, and her mother built it. Her mother built this florist for her, this florist design, which she's using as a souvenir shop. And her mother is Samantha, who has her building business right here. Samantha is the last builder. We have 4 builders altogether. We have Samantha, we have Penelope, we have Thomas, and we have Noah. And Samantha lives here in this duplex. She actually made this duplex for herself and her daughter to live in, and then her daughter met Benedict, and for a while they actually lived in this duplex. But then they had children. They had Felix and Lily, and so Levi and Aurora, who are Benedict's parents, said, you should have the big house and we'll move into your 1-bedroom duplex. So Levi and Aurora moved in here, and ever since they did, it's a most interesting relationship between Samantha, Levi, and Aurora. And I think Aurora and Samantha have sort of straightened it out now, but it was very curious for a while where Levi was laying his head at night. In the meantime, London and Benedict moved into the house that Benedict was raised in. They moved into this house, and they have their 2 kids, Lily and Felix, who are not in school right now. School is out, so you can see Felix. It looks like Felix is upstairs already in his room, but this house has been updated recently, and this is the new kitchen that Benedict had put in for the house after he moved in. And we also did some work, there's Felix, some work on the bedrooms upstairs to make, I believe, yes, these bedrooms are in fact Felix's and Lily's bedrooms. These 2 bedrooms right here belong to both of them. And then the upstairs bedroom belongs to their parents, and that belongs to London and Benedict. And it is night, so I'm not going to go up to their bedroom. And we see Felix, and he is not interested in going to bed right now. Look at that. It's sunset, and he's going out the door before his parents come home. And there was London just coming home, and now Felix has just seen his dad, and so he is going upstairs as well. Okay, so there they are, Lily and Felix and Benedict and London. I thought I saw her come into the house, but I don't. Oh, there she is. Yes. So they are all in the house. We're going to go past the Aylmer boarding house, and oh, there's Paul. He wants a job, or he wants to go back to school. The Aylmers have had this boarding house since Philippa and Roland first moved into it, but now they live on the other side of these plains. They have a farm, and they have a new little farmhouse that they live in. Oh, that's right. I forgot. Noah is it Noah's working on it? I think Noah's working on it, but one of our builders is working on a new restaurant, and this is the level 1. We're actually going to let it get up to a level 2, and that's as far as this restaurant is going to go. And then after it's a level 2, and the reason we want a level 2 is these become skylights. These insets in the restaurant become skylights, and there are a few more tables that are added, and that will be nice. Once this is done, oh, the other thing that happens at level 2 is I believe that the stone porch gets added on. But once this is done, we are more than likely going to trim down the amount of room that this restaurant is on, because this restaurant is floating. So see, we have a couple trees here that are holding it up, and I think we're going to push back on that and just have it be very close to the edge as far as what is holding it holding it up, like a jungle tree, or for instance this one. We can do the same with that. And I think that we're actually going to make it either stone to match the farms, or we're going to make it jungle. We just haven't made up our mind yet about that. We'll wait and see what happens when we get to it. And then what are the walls going to be on the inside? Since this is light, we probably would want this to be some sort of light terracotta or something, and a different wood. Now, we may be able to save these trees, bring these trees all the way up and through, which would be really great if I can do that. And yeah, I'm not so much, for instance, this part right here where the walkway is missing, we're just going to actually have to put this part back in. So this front yard is more than likely going to be mostly stone when it is done. So yes, so this part needs a little restaurant. Benedict's restaurant is all the way over there, and Kinsley's restaurant is all the way over there, and Levi's restaurant is all the way over there. So we are doing this so they have a closer restaurant, the farm. And speaking of the farm, we have a new farmer who is building himself a new house. This is Isaiah's farm building. Isaiah is actually, Isaiah has company. Isaiah's farm is actually a share. He is actually a co-owner now with Elias and Mildred of Elias's Jungle Farm, which has 5 fields. So now Isaiah is managing the melon field. Mildred manages the pumpkin field, and Elias handles all the rest. And so back here, Isaiah is also building a house. This is our second, well, no, we're in New Masseque. This is actually our third sandstone house that we're going to have here. We have one in the jungle's edge in the swamp, and then we have one actually on the river's edge, the edge of the Masseque River, and which Thomas lives in. And now Thomas is building a third one of these, which is going to be for Isaiah. And I don't know what it's going to look like just yet. Is it going to look like the stone and jungle that the rest of the farm area looks like? We'll see. That would be most interesting. So we'll see how that is. But right now it's a level 2, I do believe. It doesn't have an upstairs, so I think that makes it a level 2. And when it's a level 5, we will change out the materials and furnish the house, and we'll see who wants to live here with Elias. Who would like to choose Elias and live with him? Whoever lives with him is more than likely going to run this restaurant right here. So that's going to be most interesting. That's what kind of partnership that's going to be. and it will be interesting to see how that works out. So that was two of the things that we were working on: the railroad and Elias growing up, leaving school. Elias is not from the last group of young adults. Elias is actually from the previous group. We had a couple kids who were from the previous group who had not gotten settled, and Elias was one. The other kid was actually Cecily. We have two Cecilys. We have Cecily Goodrick, who is Edmund's chosen, Edmund Jr., who is actually named after his grandfather. He's technically not a junior. He's named after his grandfather, and Edmund is a minor, and his chosen, Cecily Goodrick, is actually a teacher, but Cecily Aylmer is actually one of our young people, and I'd have to go into the Akasha records right now to find her lineage, to find who her parents are, but she is an Aylmer, and she has just become the proud owner of this beautiful blacksmith, this smithy. And she is, right now, we're not sure whether she's going to remain in this position, but right now she is enjoying learning smithing and working on farm tools and working on horseshoes for Roland and Philippa and all the farmers in this area, the cattle rancher and Elias's farm. But this is Roland and Philippa's farm. One of their horses, Artax. Artax is the stallion, and he has one descendant actually, and yeah, Philippa and Roland decided they wanted their own cow. So they actually have a cow on their farm, but they primarily raise sheep and chickens, and also have horses because they always loved horses. But Cecily is the one who is shoeing the horses and keeping them well. Now, Samantha, our builder, just finished a level 1 of the second blacksmith. So we're actually going to have these two blacksmiths together. And the second blacksmith is located right here. And this is the doorway, I think is back here. Let's see if we can find it. I can't find it. There it is. Okay, so this is the way the doorway, the ultimate doorway, is going to be, which is interesting. I think there's a doorway on both sides. I hope this isn't facing the wrong way, but I think we're going to end up with a doorway on both sides of this blacksmith. Now, this blacksmith is a Nordic style and is totally devoted to armor and weapons. And the interesting thing about this blacksmith is that it is mostly underground when it's finished, this Nordic style. And we do have one of these in the city of Omo, so it'll be curious to see what this one is like when it is completed. And look at Paul being around here. So this is interesting. We're watching some of the kids who are out of school to see where they want to be and what they want to be. And so Yes, so I don't know whether we've actually seen much of Cecily, but let's call her for a moment. All of the blacksmiths are usually dwarves. There we go. And there she is. And there is Cecily. All right, Cecily Naomi. And so let us continue into town for a little bit. Which way should we go into town? Let's go this way. Um, ah, yep, I did not. Let us go up these stairs. So we're going past Frederique and Landon's house, where they still live with most of their children. I think Paloma, their daughter, is the only one who's not living there, but all three of their sons are actually still living in the house. Mildred is went to drop some things off. She's growing her pumpkins and tending to the new planting, although that looks pretty close. Yep, they're starting to pop up. And so we saw that Isaiah is going to have his little house back here. This is Mildred and Elias's house. They chose each other much long time ago. Mildred, Isaiah had liked fried swidey, one of his little cousins, and thought that she was going to come and be a farmer. But Friday, that's what we call fried swidey, was actually absolutely head over heels in friendship with her best friend Annabelle, and they have been together ever since. They're best friends. They are not lovers. They're just best friends, and they have lived together, raising Annabelle's kids together, to the point that Annabelle's kids call her mom also. So, so they both raised Annabelle's boys, and in this house was originally built for Diego and Victoria, but because it was closer to the farm, and after it had been what do you call it? Renovated. I guess renovated would be the correct word. Renovated to be more of a jungle house. They loved it. Now, I haven't had a chance to do any designing in here. This is the vanilla designs for this house right now, but it was just so pretty. I just love the darkness of it. Just love it being so dark wood and looking practically like zombies going to appear in it in any minute. And so I'm going to have fun working on that when I finally do. And then, so Diego and Victoria were most happy to move into Elias and Mildred's home, this one, switch homes with them, because this is closer to Diego's bakery right here. Not that. That's the sawmill. This is the carpentry shop. This is Diego's factory, bakery, and he's a pastry chef. And so he makes all these beautiful pastries. Lovely, beautiful pastries in the shop. Have we been in this shop at all? Maybe not. Let me go in. And there's Diego. And here is his ovens. And it looks like he has two ways up. Let's see what this way up goes to. This way right here. We can go right up, oh, into what looks like a little, oh, how cute. He has a little area where he serves pastry. Oops, sorry about that. He has a little area where he serves pastries, which is really cool. And there's a cake, several cakes sitting out for people to see and try. And then he shows his other pastries. Ah, I see. And this door, that stairway or ladderway was down. And up here you can hear the water from his power. All of the bakeries use water to power their mills, and that is what he has. Oh, I should show you something. So this actually did not, that's so interesting that makes you want to go all the way up there. I guess that's okay. My tendency is to not like that it causes you to go up onto that table area there. I would take that away just to keep that up from happening. This did not have a ceiling. This was actually open air in the original design. And so all of these cakes, this is the jungle, all of these cakes would essentially have been drenched, would have been washed away by the rain. And so we put an actual roof over a deck roof over top of this deck area, just so that they could have the cakes that they wanted sitting out, that Diego wants to sit out. He could have them right here. And so Diego's daughter actually is living over here, Julia and Ray. And oh yeah, we're working on the road coming through. And this is really interesting about the road coming through to this part of the boardwalk here, because this this lumber yard office is up, I think it's up 3 high from the road. So we're probably going to have the road, yeah, I know it's getting slower and slower. We're probably going to have this road come past. So in other words, we may have to, oh, there's Reynolds. It's nighttime. He's going home. We may have to take those trees down, or at least make them a little less into the road in this area, or we may not, depending. But this part where it joins, where the road came to a stop here, this part of the road is more than likely going to continue on in this direction to join the main road that we just came off of back there. So Ray and Julia, Ray is Julia's son, they came to live with Reynold. Reynold actually is just having Julia be his housekeeper. And there's Julia right now coming up the stairs and going in. Interesting route that she took home. And she's going in and she's going up to her bedroom. And there she is. She's upstairs. Reynold loves this room down here. This is his bedroom. Down here, we don't want to do too much going in because we don't want to disturb him. But yeah, so he's in there. Now I'm not sure if it's broken or if that's the way that they just added the bed, but they forgot to add whatever it is that goes with the bed. But this house, even though it has 5 beds in it, that the bed that Reynolds is in is the double bed to make the 5th bed in the house. That bed does not sleep 2 people. So, but it's okay for now because it doesn't have to. And hopefully later on we'll find out what's going on with it. And so this is the lumberyard offices, which haven't really had anything done to them except some lighting changes. And then this road is the continuing road. This road's going to cut through and join up with the bridge road, which goes into the farm area. And this is such a lovely area back here. There are still some trees that haven't recovered from the creation of the lumber yard and Reynolds' house. And we see some movement in the background there that might be, it's such a dark person. Ah, no wonder it's a skeleton in full armor. But is it one of the royalty? That looks like it might be royalty with a enchanted weapon. If a skeleton has an enchanted bow or sword, they are part of the royal family. And if they are in full armor and have an enchanted sword, they are in fact the Lord of the Jungle. Oh, he doesn't want to be seen. Okay, fine. So we're just going to go off for now. We do have a peace agreement with the Lord of the Jungle, the Lord of the Swamp, and the Lord of the Plains here. So we are using the land, and they gave it to us so that we could use it. And we're passing right now, and there's still a light on in the temple. That means that Jeremiah Cheddar was probably, no, not Jeremiah, Josiah, sorry. Josiah Cheddar, who was named after a teacher, Josian, who is the principal of the second school. There are 2 Josiahs, both named after Josie. And Josiah Cheddar is the professor of magical arts. He was the head of the magical arts department of Omo University. This is the magical arts tower of Omo University. It was an oak tower, and it's still an oak tower on the inside, but the outside was turned into a jungle tower because this tower was built when there was only the oak tower. Now there are all sorts of variations of the enchanted tower for 12, not just for 15, but for 12 as well. And so, but when in his studies, when he was working in his mushroom farm, his mushroom and netherwort farm down here, which I guess I can show you. He was working in his mushroom and netherwort farm, and he was digging up something, and he found some indication that there had been some old structure in the neighborhood, and some additional work showed that that old structure was in fact a jungle temple that had been completely covered. And so Noah was hired to excavate the temple. We have company. Let's see who it is. Is it just a soldier? Or they're being very standoffish, and it could be because they know that I'm at war with the revenants in New Musalangu, which is the lost city in 15, where I have been unable to secure a peace between the revenants and the colonists there. This is just a soldier, but back there, I can't see. They're still remaining hidden. Might actually be the Lord of the Jungle. I can't tell for sure whether that's a highly decorated soldier or whether that's actually the Lord. I can't get close enough. So yes, so Josiah found evidence of this temple, and Noah, who is one of our 4 builders, he restored it. He uncovered it and restored using information from the temple itself. He uncovered it, and Noah was able to restore certain parts of the temple so that the temple now has electric light in it, so that Josiah can actually come in and work on saving these precious manuscripts that he found in the basement of the temple. So this temple is essentially a museum and may one day be open to the public, but is not opened yet. And in the meantime, Annabelle, who Friday and Annabelle went to school to study botany, and Friday, Annabelle helped Friday get the farm, which is what this is over here. This is the flower farm here, and Annabelle was very happy about that and very pleased with her having it, but was absolutely thrilled when Professor Cheddar offered her to grow the magical plants to become the professor of magical arts in charge of the University of Omo's Magical Arts Tower, and giving her full autonomy to grow wonderful magical plants in the garden there. And so she is really thrilled about that. We did start to do some work on Friday's flower farm. We intend to put the bamboo on this wall against the wall that is connected to the farm. And also, she has a lot of, what are you two doing here? Hi, Friday. Teachers came. Oh, it was probably Annabelle. Then Friday has a lot of stone down in her garden, and so we are going to get to the point where we actually, excuse me, thank you, where we actually bring all of that back to being a growing, wonderful soil that she can grow things in. So that's there. The house that Annabelle and Friday raised the boys in is that greenhouse right next door. And right now, Mason is living there. One of Annabelle's sons is living in the house by himself. He got the house because he is the new, look at all these roads that we got fixed. Isn't this neat? We did a lot on the roads over this little bit of time, and wherever there is the stone is all the new sections of road that have been reclaimed. I still have some areas where I'm changing the jungle wood to dark oak, so that I'm using the 3 materials that they use in building in the jungle. They use stone, they use dark oak, and they use jungle wood. But this is Mason's This is the Colkin Stoneworks, and Mason is the runs the crushing plant, which is what this is. This is a jungle crushing plant. And then Mason's nephew, Nolan's son, Grayson, runs the sifting plant. We did some work in this area to sort of get the get all of these roads to sort of make it easier for them to get where they need to get. I still need to do something about the fencing here. That's a continued, this is a work in progress. It also makes it easier for Edmund, although every once in a while he goes that way, but it makes it easier for Edmund to get here and to his mine, not mind. And where is he going? He's probably going to get something to eat, which is interesting because it's like, well, what restaurant is he going to? But he is going somewhere. And so this is as far as the road work has gotten. So the roads that are completed, Edmund, what is your problem? Do you need something to eat? Are you trying to, so he's going to go down there for a little bit and then he's going to go this way. I want to see if maybe he can't find a restaurant. Let's see if he goes back in and comes back out. Nope, he's going down. We can see him, he's going downstairs. So whatever it was, yeah, he got it straightened out. That seemed almost like he went home because he forgot something, doesn't it? That was most interesting. So see, in this area here, for example, we haven't finished fixing this road area right here. And this still has to have the jungle attached to it as well. And then we go up here, and of course there's Jonathan, and Jonathan is one of Maya's sons, and he is working the smeltery, the ore smeltery, but he's coming up to Jeremiah's little lunch restaurant to have lunch, or to have a late snack for sure. And Jeremiah and Jonathan are having a very, very, how interesting. Now that's the door to the kitchen, believe it or not, but I'm amazed that he tried to use it because technically it is just a door. It doesn't really go anywhere yet. I was suggesting that there was a kitchen there, but it doesn't go there yet. But he went in just like it actually was a kitchen. I love when stuff like that happens. That is pretty cool. But they seem to be having some animated conversation, the two of them. And this is, and there's the reason why. Let's give Jonathan some food. He's not carrying anything. It could mean that Jeremiah doesn't have anything. So let's come around on this side and see if that's what that animated conversation was about. Sure enough, Paloma is in the same state. So let's give her something. And I'm just going to end up giving him the food I have on me so that Jeremiah can actually keep his restaurant open. So, oh dear, one of them. Okay, so let's go here. Now he has fish, cooked salmon. Jonathan did not want cooked salmon. Now, isn't that wild? He did not want cooked salmon, and he did not want potatoes. Interesting. That is so wild when that happens. Okay, so Jeremiah's fine. Jeremiah is having much fun running his own restaurant. His parents own the Tavern, which is this restaurant. This is actually a medieval restaurant that has been renovated into this tavern. Now, the new Minecolonies 15 actually is going to have a real tavern. And I think that, believe it or not, is a little thing coming from Techtopia. But even if it's not, even if that was their intention at some point, I am ecstatic to have something more than a restaurant, something more than, to serve people. And that is just going to be wonderful. We'll see what happens with all of these businesses that actually have apartments in them, and see if there will be a way soon to assign beds or to assign the worker to sleep in his own house. I think the problem, I can completely see the problem right away. So how do you get the other person to be there? If you want them to live with somebody and raise children, how do you do that? And yeah, exactly. How do you? So I am most appreciative of the way it works now. And we're still working on this area. We still have jungle wood that has to come up to this house and go around the corner and continue. And I think that is pretty much what we worked on. There was a lot of road work this week, a lot of road work going on here, and also trying to decide if we were going to keep this house the way it is. And I think this townhome is actually pretty much going to remain like this. The only other thing that could happen is for it to have more acacia. And I think the only way we could do that is to actually have acacia floors, would kind of be a shame, because look at these lovely floors in here. Look at the way this is set up. Now, those rugs I put in because those rugs are covering up lighting. And look, they have a refrigerator. So eventually, and a lamp. So eventually, I intend to have this place also renovated. But I believe that we haven't done it yet. But have we? Because what's supposed to happen here is that Paloma and David own this duplex now, and one of the kids is supposed to be here, either Jeremiah or Grayson is going to move in one of these places. So what do I have here? I have David coming home really early. And let me see, just for a second, can I get up here for a minute? I thought I had made this a 1-bedroom, but let me just check and see. Nope, this is actually the 2-bedrooms. So this is Paloma and David's apartment, and I don't think anyone else is living here right now. And am I going to be proved wrong? I don't think so. So yeah. So, and there is Paloma coming home, and she's going right up to bed, and that is the end of the night for the two of them, the two delivery. It is a delivery family. She had her own delivery business and he had his, and yet they both are in the delivery business. This is Paloma's delivery service with the helicopter pad on top, and this is David's delivery service, this building right here with the railroad in front of it. So both of them are in fact doing business beyond New Masseque. They have customers that they ship out to that don't live in the city. It's nighttime and everyone's sleeping, and we're going past, I believe that Jonathan and Kaylee Adams, who is Thomas's daughter, they both live in this house, and that is correct. Oops. And they are in fact upstairs. And then here is Penelope. Penelope and Declan live here, and Declan got home early. Wow. So Declan's upstairs in bed. Believe me, this is early for him. And let's see, and there's Friday and Annabelle in their bedrooms. And this is Penelope's builder's hut. And I can go up here and I can go to sleep for right now. So why don't I do this? This is Penelope's office apartment. And a lot of the businesses have an office apartment, and this is hers. And it's actually really nice. It's especially nice for me because there are 3 ways in and out of this building, and that really helps. So if I want to land, I can open this up and come down through this way. Or if I'm down walking, then I can just take the ladder upstairs. But if I want to leave, all I have to do is open this gate and step out a little ways and then close it and just fly away. Just fly away. So there we go. It's funny having this restaurant here right now, Jeremiah's restaurant in this area, but this is in fact the continuation of the Jungle's Edge being being a hub for the railways. And yeah, so just a moment and we'll just go downtown where some other work has been done on the streets. So let's go this way. And we're going, there we are, past the school. We're going to go past the first school again. Charity is principal. We're going to go past the bakery, Maya's bakery, and you can see Maya in the window, and you can hear her. She is pounding bread, and there she is tasting. What is she tasting? It looks like she's tasting her cookies, doesn't it? She is tasting some of her chocolate chip cookies. And then we'll go here. Ah, yes. So we have someone working on this part of the walkway, and it looks like that they're waiting for more stone in order for this to be done. And it depends on who's working on it. Because this is well, because I'm right here, I can actually go into City Hall and see who's working on it right quick. So why don't I do that? We can go to exclamation point, and there's all the different things. So infrastructure, and that's what a road is Noah. So we can go over to Noah's workshop and we can make sure that he has, there's Grayson. Grayson, are you hungry? Yes, you are. What do you have on you that's keeping you, how can that be keeping you from getting fed? I'm not sure how. That is really interesting because I actually don't know why he's not fed. But I could look for a moment if he stays there, and he is staying, and he's not asking for anything. See, if he was asking for something, I would think that that's the reason, but that's not it at all. And there's my Wonder Woman lassos right there, which make it very fun. But there isn't any reason to disturb him. He might just be hanging out thinking about things. So who did we say was working on this? Noah. So Noah doesn't necessarily dislike these kind of projects, but for him, they seem to take a long time, which is why he likes just being there we go. There we go. He likes working on bigger things, but let's see what we've got here. There he goes. Okay, so that's what he needed. And I probably during the week will give him more materials so that he can work specifically, see that's not enough, specifically on roads, because they right now are a major focus of what we are doing. For instance, we have Cook 2. Oh, that's right. Noah interrupted himself because he wanted to work on that road, and I didn't realize that I hadn't set him up to work on the restaurant yet. So he actually was still working on that road. Interesting. Okay. One final piece. We actually started doing a little bit of work down here. This is a massive project to actually push this land back and make the river be underneath here, be deeper and be in fact water under here instead of partially land. This section of the city, which was the original city, the original teeny tiny city, has grown so much that this part here of the underground has been definitely neglected. So these are all some things that we still have to work on, without a doubt. And that is what we are going to be doing in this coming week. And wow, I think that that is everything, and not a moment too soon, because look at this lag. The lag is beginning to get, oh, but I didn't show you what we decided. This is the last thing. We did decide to leave the ground and make this a special farm, this fish farm here, because both Noah, both Edmund and the new fisherman, Sam K, love going down below this new area here where they have a portion of the fish farm. They love coming down here and fishing. Now it's daytime and I don't see either of them here. Let's see if both of them need something right here. Oh, look at that. I might have to do something to actually make a walkway across to this section here. Yes, they're supposed to use the bridge, but nonetheless, they should at least, either I'm going to put a fence here and they can't come this way, or I'm just going to have this little section of this rise up so that they can come this way. And I think I'd almost rather have it be like this. So we don't need that. And here on this side, we don't need this so much. You can have a little bit of a walk space there. Okay, and then if they want, they can come down into this area. And this is where they like to fish. But why aren't either of them here is what's most interesting. Ah, so there is Edmund, and he's fishing out in the swamp area, which he loves to do. And then over here in the new fish farm, let's look and see. We did a lot of work over here to make what Sam K wanted to do was to have a fish market. So here is our new fish market made out of the fish farm, the Dark Oak Fish Farm. So all of this that you see is actually not a part of the Dark Oak build. This was created to make a fish farm out of this building, and Edmund is thrilled with it, and Isaiah comes in here. Yes, see, this is what begins to happen. So this is one of these things where I think I've come to the end of my stream because I am having more and more trouble, but I did want you to see just our little bit here where we have some wonderful things here. That is so interesting. That basalt actually looks like carpet, doesn't it? But it makes a wonderful design. And so that is so lovely. And then we have the smoker for the fish. And this, remember, is 12. And this, and we have some wonderful things available for us here. For instance, we just discovered that these stools aren't in 15 yet. And it's like, no, they would really be important. They would be wonderful in one of the restaurants that we have in 15. But the sun is setting on our lovely fishery, and we are going to call it at this particular time. This has been a visit to New Masseque, the jungle's edge. This is the third city of the 12 cities. The Minecolonies 12, 1.12 cities. And this is the latest city. Edmund's going to go. Edmund lives right there. That's Edmund's deck right off. So he is thrilled to have this extension to the fishery right in his front yard. And there is Levi coming. Levi's actually stopping by to pick up some fish that was left for him on the way home. And I guess I should say you can watch me during the week. I play in New Masseque in Twitch and Mixer on Wednesday. Wednesdays during the week I play in the morning, and my Mixer is up in the air right now because of the technical problems that I'm having. So, but I will play. I just don't have a set time. I'm trying to find a time where I have the least amount of trouble playing. So enjoy your games and enjoy watching all the other gamers. Thanks for being here. Bye for now. Bye for now.